The Bay Area's rock station, 107.7 The Bone.
So Weed Man's coming up, and then of course you have classic vinyl at 20 after 10 too.
Exactly, and you never know when I'm going to play Metallica.
Ooh, yeah.
Don't
miss it. 107.7 The Bone.
Over the years, Steven Seaweed has become the voice of classic rock here in the Bay Area, doing so with a lively persona and an array of fresh radio segments, such as Classic Rock Vinyl, Hey Mom, I'm on the Bone, and the world-famous Hot Lunch. So I'm joined here by Steven Seaweed, who is a DJ at 107.7 The Bone. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Hey, my pleasure.
I wanted to start out by asking you...
And don't call me sir!
Mr. Seaweed, I want to start it by asking you... maybe how you got into radio to begin with. I mean, is it something that you wanted to grow up doing, when you were young, or is it something you fell into and fell in love with? How'd that work out?
Kind of both. I used to listen to this station, KSAN, way back in the day when they first, were a progressive rock station in the very early 70s and late 60s. And then a friend of mine was the program director at a little station in Carmel, California, and I'd visit him and we'd hang out, and one day I said to him, hey, you think I could ever do this? And he said, well, get your license and we'll see. And next thing you know, nobody wanted to work on New Year's Eve, and I volunteered, and I kind of got a job, and I got a weekend job there. So, I was a fan of radio, and then it just kind of fell in my lap. I've been lucky,
Steven Seaweed has turned this so-called luck into a decorated career that has seen him interview rock legends such as Metallica, David Lee Roth of Van Halen, and Joe Satriani.
Frankly, one of my best interviews was David Lee Roth. And this was after he left Van Halen the first time and he was solo. And, they'll set up the interview, and a lot of times there'll be kind of restrictions. Say, oh, well, Dave, he's got to have a certain kind of headphones, and you can't ask him blah, 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 And he showed up, and none of that, There was, he was just the nicest guy on the planet, and turned out to be a really good interview. Never had any of the Stones on. Robert Plant. Now, there was a guy who was fabulous. Really enjoyed talking to him. Sammy Hagar's always good. Satriani, Joe Satriani. I've had him in 4 or 5 times. Just the best.
It's exactly what it's called, too. I Just Want to Rock. Brand new Joe Satriani here at 107.7 The Bone, the Bay Area's rock station. And it's here on Hey Mom, I'm on the Bone, brought to you by Big O Tires.
The following song, Andalusia, which is about trips through southern Spain, has the same kind of format, small little introduction, and then about 7 minutes of out-and-out jamming with the three of us.
Well, we'll play another track from that a little bit later on.
The Weed Man, as he is referred to, has his hands full here in the studio, but he manages to handle much of the workload all by himself.
Well, it's just me in there. In the morning show, they got Lamont Tonelli,
Sully.
Super Producer Sully, Baby Huey, Mona does traffic.
Gotcha.
So they got a ton of people. But with me, it's just me. I mean, I produce everything myself. I produce the classic vinyl segment. I write and produce the Hot Lunch timeline game every day, and just all the bits I'm going to do. It's just all me.
The Bay Area has been rocking with the Weed Man for over a decade now, and whether you enjoy your rock hot off the vinyl or at lunchtime, Steven Seaweed is sure to serve up something for you to jam to, and he doesn't plan to stop melting your face anytime soon.
But just the fact that I'm doing well, I'm staying with it till they kick my ass out.
Reporting live in San Francisco from the Bone Rock Studio, I'm Chris Vargas.
Give me some, yeah.